Hey YouTube, this is Shapeshifter coming at you with another video. As some of you may recall, 6 months ago in March, I uploaded a video talking about how I had a suspicion that this mandatory DNA or RNA based vaccine would disable the VMAT2 gene, also known as the God gene. I theorized that by using a DNA or RNA based vaccine, the government could disable the VMAT2 gene, causing a person to become unable to believe in the unseen, which of course includes God, and that this would thereby forever cut them off from God and make them unredeemable. In other words, I was suggesting that the mandatory COVID vaccine could in fact be the long awaited biblical mark of the beast. Anyways, I will link back to the original video I uploaded in the description below, so you can go back and watch it if you haven't already. Anyways, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. In today's news, we have this headline. Quote, "They've killed God, I can't feel God, my soul is dead," unquote. AstraZeneca halts COVID-19 vaccine trials after a second volunteer develops neurological problems. AstraZeneca revealed details of its large coronavirus vaccine trials on Saturday, the third in a wave of rare disclosures by drug companies under pressure to be more transparent about how they are testing products that are the world's best hope for ending the pandemic. The release comes after a second vaccine test volunteer, quote, developed neurological problems, end quote. According to sources who claim to be familiar with the vaccine trials, the second volunteer suddenly started saying, quote, "They've killed God, I can't feel God anymore, my soul is dead," end quote, after the vaccine. Polls are finding Americans increasingly wary of accepting a coronavirus vaccine, and scientists inside and outside the government are worried that regulators, pressured by the president for results before Election Day on November 3rd, might release an unproven or unsafe vaccine. Quote, "The release of these protocols seems to reflect some public pressure to do so," end quote, said Natalie Dean, a biostatistician and expert in clinical trial design for vaccines at the University of Florida. Quote, "This is an unprecedented situation, and public confidence is such a huge part of the success of this endeavor," end quote. Experts have been particularly concerned about AstraZeneca's vaccine trials, which began in April in Britain, because of the company's refusal to provide details about serious neurological illnesses in two participants, both women, who received its experimental vaccine in Britain. These cases spurred the company to halt its trials twice, the second time earlier this month. The studies have resumed in Britain, Brazil, India, and South Africa, but are still on pause in the US. About 18,000 people worldwide have received AstraZeneca's vaccine so far. AstraZeneca's 111-page trial blueprint, known as a protocol, states that its goal is a vaccine with 50% effectiveness, the same threshold that the Food and Drug Administration has set in its guidance for coronavirus vaccines. To determine with statistical confidence whether the company has met that target, there will have to be 150 people ill with confirmed coronavirus among participants who are vaccinated or received placebo shots. However, the plan anticipates that a safety board will perform an early analysis after there have been just 75 cases. If the vaccine is 50% effective at that point, it might be possible for the company to stop the trial early and apply for authorization from the government to release the vaccine for emergency use. The company did not immediately inform the public about the neurological problems of either participant, nor did it promptly alert the FDA that it was again pausing its trials after the second UK volunteer developed illness, and an independent safety board called for a temporary halt, according to multiple people familiar with the situation. The company's chief executive told investors about the problems, but did not discuss them publicly until the information was leaked and reported by Stat. Sure enough, just like I predicted they would be, it seems the powers that be are using this vaccine to administer DNA-changing properties that disable the God gene in an attempt to eradicate all religion worldwide. On a slightly connected note, yesterday I was watching the old movie Body Snatchers from 1993 and decoded some hidden messages in the movie which I feel was predictive programming about the Mark of the Beast. For those of you who haven't seen it, the premise of this movie is a race of alien entities are slowly going around replacing people in a military base with emotionless, soulless replacements. The first hidden message is at around 50 minutes into the movie. You see the soulless replacement of the mother of the main protagonist making the 666 hand sign and saying, "This is important." For those of you who have been paying attention, the Hollywood and actors always use the 666 hand sign to indicate the mark of the beast and that they've sold their soul to the devil.
Go where? That's right. Go where? What happened in your room? Are you listening? What happened in your room is not an isolated incident. It is something that is happening everywhere to everyone. So, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna run? Where are you gonna hide? Nowhere. Because there's no one like you left.
The second hidden message is a few minutes later into the movie, where it is indicated that somehow a needle will be involved. With this mark of the beast, when one of the main characters asks, "What's with the needle?"
Hey, Pete, what's going on?
Sit down, Timbo.
What the hell's going on, Pete? Hey, Justin.
Go to sleep, Timbo.
What is this, some kind of joke?
Just go back to bed.
What's with the needle? What is this? What are you guys doing?
I told you go to bed, didn't I?
The third and final hidden message that I found is the line, "You disappoint me, doctor. You're a man of medicine. You're supposed to preserve life, not take it." When the army base's doctor is being surrounded by soulless soldiers who are coming to get him, then he says, quote, "You're never going to get my soul," end quote, before he offs himself.
Not before I load a few into you onion heads.
Relax, Major. Take it easy.
You disappoint me, Doctor. You're a man of medicine. You're supposed to preserve life, not take it.
You bastard. You call what you are
Life.
I know who you are. I know who you are.
Do you?
Better me, sir. I know what happens when you son of bitches catch somebody sleeping. Morphine?
Look what your fear has done to you. Can't you see? When all things are conformed, there'll be no more disputes, no conflicts, no problems any longer.
Abandon yourself and join us.
There are hundreds, even thousands of us here. We've traveled light years throughout the universe, always surviving, always growing stronger because we've learned. It's the race that's important, not the individual.
The individual's always important.
Only unity guarantees survival.
You must join us.
The human race left to its own devices is doomed.
Accepted.
It's a better way.
Stay back.
It's a matter of survival.
Stay back. Stay back. I'm warning you. You stay back.
Doctor, put the gun down.
You're never gonna get my soul. Never.
Anyways, creepy times we're living in, brothers and sisters. It's almost time we flee for the wilderness, like the book of Matthew chapter 24 says to do, when we see this abomination that makes one's body temple desolate take place. May Jesus bless you.